It is Monday, November the 24th. It is time to talk some Eagles. It's time to talk NFL Week 12. It's time to be real. It's time to be realistic. It's time to be unbiased. Let's get into it. Welcome in, everybody, back to Unbiased, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming to you guys live from Hamilton, New Jersey. Of course, this is the show and the station that unites fans, ignites debate, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. Let's get into it. As always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. Tyler, by my screen name, I have a new job. I was hired today.
Sam, I'm so glad to hear that information. Nothing would make me happier than for anybody to take the job of Kevin Matullo.
I'm only running wide receiver screens to Jahan Dotson. That's all I'm running. So, okay, I'll run a tight end screen to Grant Calcaterra, but that's all I'm capable of doing.
You're fired. I didn't think you
could. But anyway, we've got a big show tonight. We're going to talk some college football later. The new AP poll is out. We're no longer going off the projected brackets. They mean absolutely zilch until the season. Until the actual bracket is released, they don't mean a damn thing. I don't know why they released the projections.
We thought it doesn't matter the other way around.
Yeah, we thought the AP wouldn't matter, but it turns out the AP is all that matters. Can I just say once again, real quick, before we get into the main topics of the show, they're never going to have a perfect way of this stuff until the best 12 teams get in. Like, you're telling me the ACC champion is going to get in it, and they're like the 15th best team in the country. You're telling me they deserve a top 12 seed?
Nope, they don't.
Oh well, the Big Ten and the SEC would run the whole thing. Okay. Wasn't it how it was with a 14 playoff?
Yeah. Then the ACC needs to step it up a little bit. I mean, you got teams like Miami, Clemson. I mean, those used to be teams that were, tops of the AP rankings.
They were winning
back to that. Exactly. They need to find their way back. Who cares? If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. It is what it is.
In this era of college football, anybody can be good, and anybody can be good really quick. But anyway, we will get into that college football talk a little bit later. We do have some Penn State stuff to discuss as well, as they are still one of the more prominent jobs in college football that we are waiting to see the long-term answer at head coach. Personally, I think there's a chance that it's already there, but we'll talk about it later. We're going to get into NFL Week 12 in a few minutes here. Yes, we will talk about what happened in Dallas yesterday 100%. I don't run. One thing I don't do. Unlike Saquon Barkley this year, I don't run away. I don't run. I run and I keep my head down.
Hold up. Saquon Barkley this year isn't running.
Well, you see, he got me discombobulated.
Gotcha.
What's going on? What's up, Anthony? Anthony, big win on Saturday.
Yeah. Go Ducks. Yeah, I thought they had a chance to lose. I did. But they came out and they put their statement.
Until both teams are back in the Pac-12 with all that offense.
They want their rematch against Indiana, but I don't think they're going to get it. Well, they're not going to get it. There's no thinking about it.
The Big Ten championship game is literally the top two seeds in the freaking country right now.
Unless if one of them somehow loses before that game takes place, Oregon doesn't have a chance of getting in that game.
No. So anyway, yes, we'll be talking NFL and college football heavily throughout the show. But, after watching last Thursday night's game between the Bills,
What's up, Carol?
Carol, first of all, what's going on? Happy Monday. We gonna get into it, trust me. Give me about 15, 20 minutes off my first segment. We gonna get into it.
Oh yeah, we got some choice words.
I got a lot of words. So, after watching the performance that we saw last week from the Houston Texans defense over the Buffalo Bills, who still have Josh Allen, MVP caliber quarterback, and what I thought was a decently run Bills offense, turns out their wide receiver core is worse than we expected. Keon Coleman's a healthy scratch 2 games in a row.
I want to say this right now. I knew their wide receiving corps was trash.
Yeah, but last year, I mean, Shakir last year actually showed some promise.
Last year, now I get it. The guy, he was catching the football last year. I still feel like a big part of the way that they looked good was because of the level that Allen was playing at. Allen's playing good football, but he's not playing that elite football that we've seen where they dominate week in, week out. It's not all on him. They've had bad defensive play as well. The run game isn't always there. And like you just said, wide receiving corps, trash. They're promising second round pick from, what was it, last year? Healthy scratch. They don't even trust him.
No, it's not that they don't trust him. It's the fact that he missed a team meeting the week prior, and they don't believe he learned his lesson, so they benched him twice.
Yeah.
But as of right now, even if you look at his on-the-field production, Keon Coleman has 330 yards on the season, and he had 112 of those week one. So his play on the field has not been good. But I always tend to look back at that draft. I don't know what had me looking back at it the other day. So I went back and looked. Do you know? This is the better part. I know a lot of people they traded their first round pick to the Chiefs. They moved back and the Chiefs took Worthy. Xavier Worthy hasn't been that much better. Okay, I don't know where I heard Tyreek Hill 2.0. Xavier Worthy is nothing more than a gadget player worth about 2 trick plays a game. I haven't seen anything consistently as a wide receiver yet from Xavier Worthy. There's a bigger issue. The pick that they used on Keon Coleman. Do you know who was picked right after the next pick? Do you know who was taken?
Smith-Njigba.
Smith-Njigba's been in the league for a couple years, buddy.
Oh, has he?
This is last year's draft, Tyler. Not just think of that. This past year.
This past year. Not the 2025, the 2024.
2024.
Oh, yeah, and Jigba was 2023. My bad.
You're good. You're good, baby. You're good. Do you give up?
Yeah, that's all I got. I don't remember that many receivers from that 2024 draft.
Well, that's what the 2024 draft was about 3 top-heavy guys, and that was it. The next pick in that draft, the Chargers took Ladd McConkey.
Oh.
So I don't think Keon Coleman will be remembered as the guy that was the wide receiver taken instead of Xavier Worthy. He's going to be the wide receiver that was taken before Ladd McConkey. But anyway, the light of this whole segment is the Texans' defense on last Thursday was balling. They came out, they had 8 sacks, 3 takeaways. They were on something different on Thursday night against the Bills. Caleb Bullock sealed the game with 2 interceptions, had the one late in the fourth quarter to seal the game. So it had me thinking, and I wanted to ask the fans, in their opinions, what do they think about this? Who right now, look, I know numbers are all there, but sometimes when it comes to a question like this, you need an eye test. In my opinion, you need to have an eye test. You got to watch these games, and you got to tell me, what do you think? So, Tyler, our poll question tonight, this poll question was all over the place. This week's poll question. Who has the best defense currently in the NFL? The poll questions results were the answers you had were the Broncos,
Mm-hmm.
the Texans, the Browns. Yes, I know it's very hilarious that the Browns are on this list, but still.
But they are good.
The
They're one
Patriots.
capable offense away from being a contender.
Oh dear. So for the AFC, you had Broncos, Texans, Browns, and Patriots. The Packers, the Eagles, the Seahawks, or the Rams. Before we start the segment, would you like to hear the results?
Of course.
The Denver Broncos had 20% of the vote. The Houston Texans are currently leading with 35%. The Browns got 4%. The Patriots got 8%. Packers got 3 votes. The Eagles are coming in at 16%. They've had their fair share of votes.
Okay.
6% to the Seahawks, and I'm very surprised that the Rams only have 6%.
That is kind of surprising.
So the Houston Texans are currently the leader in the poll question. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
I mean, the people are not wrong. I believe, yes, they are the team that has allowed the fewest amount of total yards so far this year through 11 games played. I believe they're also leading in, I think, or they're top 3 in least amount of points allowed per game. I think they're only behind the Rams, and that's it. And I believe their defense, by far and away, leads the league in takeaways this year.
There are tops in the league in takeaways. They get after the quarterback at a consistent level.
They do.
Now the Broncos lead the NFL in sacks.
Yeah, the Broncos defense, another one. I mean, their defensive front is just completely loaded. And overall, you look at their record, and if you look at all of their past games this year, they've been pretty low scoring games because their offense hasn't been the flashiest, but it's enough to get the job done when their defense is just shutting down teams. So there has been a lot of good defensive play from a lot of teams this year. Most of them with good records, aside from the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, Cleveland Browns fans. But I definitely think the top few defenses are definitely Houston, Denver. Los Angeles surprises me, but I feel like Los Angeles has a weak point with their secondary still. Now, their pass rush has helped that out a lot, but they still tend to give up a good amount of yards per game. But their defense makes the stops when it matters. They're kind of like another bend but don't break kind of defense. Kind of like the Philadelphia Eagles, which I do like the honorable mention, if you will, of the Eagles being on that list. You might look at some of the recent numbers. I believe you had them recently about where they ranked in each category in the league. And it wasn't the flashiest, but that was also with not having N'Kobe Dean most of the year, without Nolan Smith most of the year. You know, the Eagles' defense has been banged up for a while, and they just recently got Jalen Phillips. So
Jalen Carter got healthy.
Jalen Carter got healthy as well.
You know, I was all right with Anthony's Keon Coleman comment until I saw the second half of it.
Oh my gosh!
You trade me James Cook?
I mean, what? James Cook? Let me get their best offensive lineman. I don't know who that is, or if that even exists. You know what? Sam? Let me get Dalton Kincaid back.
Could be an option. But no, I agree with your assessment on the Rams. The Rams defense is legit. I think it's elite. I think it has the potential to be elite, but they don't have the secondary talent to go against some teams that have really high octane offenses through the air.
Yeah.
But because of how great the pass rush is, they can get after anybody. Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Josiah Stewart. Keep freaking naming guys, why don't we? The guys that have talent all over the field on that defensive front. So now the Browns, on the other hand, I want to go back to the Browns. The Browns probably have the best defensive player in the NFL.
They do. Yeah. Best individual.
Because right now, he's currently on track to break some records. Do you think he breaks the record?
What is the record?
For sacks in a season.
I know, but like what is the number?
Okay, hold on. 22 and a half.
22 and a half. And he's already at 18.
He may break it next week.
Oh, let's take a look at their upcoming games here.
I don't care who the game is. I don't care who the games are against.
Let's see. Oh, no, I'm going to call it right now when he breaks it. Next week they play the 49ers. I think he gets 2 or 3. Then they play the Titans after. He's setting a new record that week.
He may have 30.
He sets the new record. And mind you, they still get to play the Bengals at the end of the year too.
Why? Shut it down. Shut it down.
He's got a chance of ending the season with like 30 sacks.
If he eclipses that, I don't care about it being a quarterback award. That's the National Football League most valuable player.
Sam, I'd love to agree with you. But with how great of an individual performance that will be to see, they won't give it to him because the other side of the football can't keep up to win them games. That will be why.
I mean, you're not terribly wrong. Their offense is just so bad.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying, but I mean, how do you take away from a guy who's going to set a new record?
Yeah. I mean, that's great and all, but still, you got to look over. Yes, we always say the MVP. It's like the quarterback award. There's a quarterback right now in Los Angeles that seems pretty worthy so far.
Well, worthy is a different statement. He is 100% the MVP.
But yeah, we all know Myles Garrett. He's going to win Defensive Player of the Year, without a doubt.
Oh, without question.
He could probably rest the rest of the season and he'd still win it.
You consider Myles Garrett as one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time?
I think anybody that we talk about of getting close to breaking a record or potentially setting a new record has to be considered one of the greatest of all time. And it's not just like it's one crazy good season. We've seen the consistency. He has the track record over his career. He's consistent.
He's the first player in NFL history to have 6 straight years of 12-plus sacks. Yeah, that is all he's been known for.
Exactly.
So
consistency.
That is all he's been. So I heard something on my wall or something. Is there a ghost in my house? But no, Myles, to me, I mean, let's look at this, right? Well, you think a polarizing defensive lineman, right? you think of Reggie White, you think Lawrence Taylor, you think guys like that. So, and then I'll do you one better. Let's fast forward to all the way up to the modern day. Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
Well,
Marcus Ware.
One thing. Now, look, is Myles Garrett? Do I think Myles Garrett is going to catch the minister of defense? Absolutely not. He may catch LT in terms of sacks. He's only about 20 behind him.
Yeah.
He's already got more career sacks than J.J. Watt. And he's also already got more career sacks than Aaron Donald. Now, the one thing they all have up on him, they've all won multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. I'm pretty sure Garrett's going to win another couple of those too.
Oh, he will. Mm-hmm.
Well, he's going to win this year. We know that. So, I mean, if Myles Garrett's career ended right after this season, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I would say yeah.
How would he not be? The only thing he's probably going to be robbed of throughout his career is the hardware.
Yeah,
and that's because and like you said the other day in the message, the talk we were having, that's his own fault.
It is, because I mean, you just think like, man, what if he were to go to an actual team that can compete? Like, not even talking about anything crazy. Let's say he went to, I don't know, maybe before they got Parsons. What if he went to Green Bay?
Wearing that jersey?
What if he did end up in Buffalo?
The defense be a lot better than it is now.
No kidding.
What if he was in Philly?
Oh man, that'd be insane. Well, this year, I don't know if the defense would do. I don't know if the offense would do him much justice.
Okay, we still have a better offense than the Cleveland Browns. Come on.
We do. But, you know, some weeks you watch them and you just wonder, you know, is this what it's like to be a Cleveland Browns fan? I had to see the reaction.
Why don't you go trade Jalen Hurts to Cleveland for Shedeur Sanders?
No, Sam. I was just trying to ignite you.
Well, I'll ignite you later, because guess what? I don't want to. The first 3 drives, that was cute. He ain't running away from what happened after that. None of them are. Well, I'm done playing the one blame game with that offense. We're going to get into that. But if you just look at, I mean, the Texans are tops in the league in points allowed per game. If you're looking for the next guy that's going to be as dominant as a Myles Garrett, Will Anderson may be that.
Yeah, he might.
I mean, dude, listen to this talent that they have in Houston. The defensive line starts with Will Anderson. I feel so bad for this Texans team that they're 6-5 with this defense. Will Anderson is currently on the year, has 10.5 sacks. He's a half a sack away from his career high, which was last year. He had 11. Still got our good old friend Derek Barnett, who's carved out a nice little rotational spot over there in Houston. You know, credit to Derek. They have Danielle Hunter, who has 11 sacks.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter's a beast.
They have Azeez Al-Shahir, who's one of the better middle linebackers that you could get, even though he's a scumbag. But anyway. They have Henry To'oTo'o, who's pretty dang solid. You look at this secondary. Caleb Bullock may be one of the better young safeties in football. All the guys does is take the football away. Last year as a rookie, 5 interceptions. This year, already has 4. Had 2 on Thursday against Josh Allen. Kamari Lassiter. Last year as a rookie, 3 picks, really good quarterback too. This year has 2. He's playing really solid football once again. Jalen Petrie, one of the better nickel defenders in the league. 3 interceptions on the year. Missed last game with a concussion, but still one of the better ones. And then, of course, you got Derek Stingley, who is easily one of the 3 best corners in football. I think if you look at all these teams, they all do something well. But I think the big question is which team has got the biggest weaknesses. And the Broncos, they get after the quarterback like better than anybody. You know, Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers. You have Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito. These guys get after the quarterback. Their secondary, outside of Surtain, Hufunga's been good. I don't trust Riley Moss as my corner too.
Yeah. And the Broncos, they don't take the ball away a lot.
Well, no, that's because the guy that would take the football away the most doesn't get the ball thrown at him.
True. But that's when you got to have a more rounded out defense as a whole, which I don't think the Broncos are on that list.
What list?
The list of having a fully rounded out defense with no weaknesses.
No, but you can mask a lot of things when you get after the quarterback consistently.
Yeah.
Surtain is Surtain's the best corner in football without a doubt. If you look at the rest of their secondary, they are solid. Hufunga's been good. Their other safeties has been good. Riley Moss is their weak link, and I like Riley Moss. He's a fine player, but I feel like every time I watch the Broncos, I see him flagged for PI down the field at least twice. At least twice. Now, if you go down the rest of these teams in this poll question, which, by the way, to everybody, thank you for voting on the poll question. Gladly appreciate it. If you look at the Browns, they have the best defensive player out of these teams, in my opinion. Do you think there's anybody outside of Pat Surtain that even rivals that?
No.
Denzel Ward's a really good player. I think the Browns right now are more better coached than they are with personnel. They're the personnel. Carson Schwarzenegger's been a really good middle linebacker in his rookie year for them. So that may be another player that they have. Their defense does have a lot of younger talent. I just still think like the reason that we don't talk about it is because the Browns
are the Browns.
Their offense stinks. They're the Browns. But this is what 609 Sports Talk Radio is all about. We are going to give you guys talk about teams that we know deserve some praise. And the Cleveland Browns have one of the better defenses in football. And if they could just have a competent quarterback and a competent play calling and maybe one more wide receiver, they actually would probably be a good offense. Now, what about the Patriots?
Patriots are an interesting one. Because they're kind of middle of the pack as far as finishing at the quarterback, getting sacks. Creating turnover-wise, I mean, again, middle of the pack. They're not top in that category either. What you see on TV doesn't really translate to the stats.
I got numbers here too.
How they play as a unit, it's a lot better than the stats that you see.
Yeah, and I mean, and if you look at these numbers, the Patriots are 7th in the league in total yards allowed per game. They are 17th in passing yards. So Christian Gonzalez missing a lot of time early in the season and probably hurt that. Carlton Davis and him have both been pretty solid, I feel like, as a duo. They are 6th in the league at 18.8 points allowed per game, and they are 7th in the NFL in third down percentage. But where they thrive the most, they're the second leading run defense in football. You can't run the football on them. So that's where the Milton Williams, Robert Spillane, all those guys they brought in to help shore up the middle of that defense has really worked out. And getting there to, I mean, I know you said they're not the greatest at getting to the quarterback, but Kalavian Chasian and Harold Landry, both, I believe, are around 6.5, 7 sacks. So they're both getting after the quarterback. They're just not doing it as an entire team. Now, Milton Williams is going to miss at least a month, it looks like, with a high ankle sprain. And now on the offensive side of the football, Will Campbell has an MCL sprain. Jarrett Wilson has a high ankle sprain. So both rookie offensive linemen are going to miss time. So we'll see how that works out. The Packers defenses, again, they just get after the quarterback. Micah Parsons, I believe in my opinion, he's been as advertised.
Yeah. They're pretty good against the run, too.
They are really good against the run, and that's with getting rid of Kenny Clark. But I mean,
Micah Parsons isn't that bad as a part of the run defense.
Micah's got 10 sacks on the year so far, so pretty solid first year so far in Green Bay from Micah. But their secondary, their corners, they're okay. I mean, Xavier McKinney is not the turnover machine that he was last year. He had 8 interceptions last year. He only has 2 this year. They're not taking the football away as much as they did last year, but they're still a very good defense. The Eagles defense is reliant on that front four. If they're getting after it, then they're one of the better defenses in football with the interior pressure that they create. But the reason the Eagles are in this conversation, I don't care who you are, what offense you run, it is hard to score in the red zone on the Eagles.
Yeah. You might get down there, but once you hit a certain point, you just hit a brick wall. You're lucky if you even get a field goal out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're just looking at a defense that it bends, but it does not break. I mean, literally, the only time you could score on this defense is what happened yesterday, with multiple guys just leaving the game with injuries. Seahawks, they're just a physical defense.
Yeah, they are.
Their secondaries have banged up a lot, though. Witherspoon's been banged up. Love's been banged up. If you want to look at some stats for their defense, they are 8th in total yards. They're the 14th ranked pass defense. They are the 4th ranked run defense, 7th in points, and they are top 5. They are tied for 5th in third down percentage. So again, another team that gets off the football field. Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams have been anchoring that D line all year. They've looked amazing. Yeah. So they've been playing really well this year. They do struggle they struggle in their secondary in terms of outside of Witherspoon, their number 2 corner's been an issue. Their secondary's been banged up a lot. So it's just things like that have really held them back from being even better. And then the Rams, like we said, great fronts four. They get after the quarterback. That secondary, though, still concerns me a little bit. So, yeah, when I voted for the poll, I voted for the Texans. I think they're the best defense in football, regardless of what their record says. The reason their record is 6-5 is because they can't score more than what their defense gives up.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue against. I think the Texans are the most well-rounded top defense. I think it's very hard to find a weakness with their level of play. But it's just offense has held them back most of the year. And there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, offensive line has not helped. You know what, Anthony? Emmanuel Forbes has been really good for the Rams lately.
It's also easier to look good when you don't have to cover as long.
Yes, again, that is why I always say that. Bad corners are masked because of a defensive line that gets after the quarterback. Adoree Jackson looked amazing against the Rams. What happened yesterday? But I was getting roasted in group chats yesterday because I was calling what I was seeing, but I was told that they were fine. Well, let me go look at them pressure numbers yesterday. No, wait, there were none.
I didn't get my hopes up because it's the
yeah,
tale of
Shaw
two
did.
with the Eagles. It's the tale of two halves. Trust me, there are some people thinking the game was over before the second quarter was over.
I'll tell. It wasn't a tale of two halves. It was a tale of one quarter to three. From the 11-minute mark of the second quarter, they were outplayed. But I mean, look, we spent about a little over 30 minutes on this defensive talk. I think we knocked it out of the park pretty well. Do we have to? I guess let's get into NFL Week 12. Crazy week of football. A lot of stuff happening. Let's get into what went down yesterday in Jerry World, because I got a problem with a lot of people. I got a problem with a lot of freaking people.
Can we talk about the defense first?
The defense that couldn't touch Dak Prescott? Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, couldn't touch Dak Prescott, but they also slowed them down many times, and they tried their damn best. I mean, what else do you want from your defense when your offense can't put up even 3 points through 3 more quarters? What do you want from that?
Oh no, look. Anybody that opens their show today that has a problem with the Eagles defense, you're blatantly stupid. But I got problems. Oh boy.
What the near future? Yes.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Why the 3-0 boys?
Because I don't know how to really go forward with that question. I got a problem with a lot of people. I have an issue with my quarterback, my running back, my offensive line, my offensive coordinator, my head coach. Is that everybody?
Let me think.
Does that sound about right to everybody? What's up, Espa? I'm not questioning the quarterback. What's up, Espa, by the way? I didn't even say hi to him. My bad.
The quick answer for Anthony's, do you see him being the quarterback for the near future?
Do you see those
Obviously,
cap hits?
yes.
Do you see those cap hits?
Not even that. I'm not moving on from a quarterback after seeing a rookie offensive coordinator for 1 year.
For the second time.
Yeah, the Raiders finally made the right choice. The only issue is the Eagles are still 8-3, so they're not going to do it. We're going to suffer the rest of the year. Barely make the playoffs. Because the defense is still too good for them to not make the playoffs. The offense stinks.
I mean, if you look at the rest of the schedule, first of all, George, Howie Rose would never let Chip Kelly back in the building. So a lifetime ban. I mean, if you want to look at the remaining schedule here, they got the Bears on Friday. I think they're easily good enough to beat the Bears. Then they go at the Chargers. That Chargers offensive line is that Chargers team is hit or miss.
Yeah, they are.
Then you're home against the Raiders. Oh dear God.
If we all blow the Raiders out,
then there's a problem.
Then there's a problem. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to withhold that statement until I see a couple of weeks without Chip Kelly running that offense.
That ain't helping their defense. Their defense is still atrocious.
Well, yeah, it won't help their defense, but...
Then they go at the Commanders, at Buffalo, then home against the Commanders. You have got a good sample size here to get this shit right. Because what I saw yesterday was one of the worst offensive performances I've seen in my entire lifetime. As soon as you get out of your scripted plays, you look like utter dog crap.
I still think so. I will say this was the second worst offensive performance I've seen. I still think the first time they played the Giants was way worse.
Yeah, but in the Giants game, the defense played like crap.
They did. Which exactly, it didn't mask it. That was also another game. 10 points the first quarter, 7 points the second quarter, and then shut out the rest of the game. So,
yeah, but you know what? At least in the Giants game, they did threaten. They were inside the 20-yard line twice in that second half, and then Jalen decides to throw the pick. That he was throwing that stupid out to Dotson, and then I believe that was the last time we saw A.J. Dillon in an Eagles uniform.
Oh, yo, you're right. Oh, my gosh.
So I understand what you're saying, but at least they moved the ball in that game. They had chances. They just turned the football over. They did not even threaten the red zone after that third drive of the game yesterday. Hold on. What was that Georgie sent us earlier? Hold on. Here we go. The Eagles have played 3 scoreless halves of football this season, and the only other team that has done that is the Titans. Three drives in a row they scored. 0 for their next 8. With 1 scoring chance, and it was a missed field goal, which, by the way, I'm going to be one on. Call me a fake fan. I was so happy Jake missed that field goal. Because that was coward shit. That's coward. No, when you're off, right. That's a Nick Sirianni problem. 4th and 5?
Yeah.
The Dallas 40, and we're kicking this shit?
Yeah. You're right. That's a moment where Nick Sirianni has to stick to his guns, just like Dan Campbell sticks to his. Because Dan Campbell, he'll live by the sword.
George won't start with me tonight. George won't start with me tonight.
No, I like that. They're going to have the best offense in college next year.
As my OC, I'd consider it. I'll tell you something. I got some Penn State stuff to talk about here.
Okay.
Espo says you have to fire Nick if we go one and done, not because this season alone, because he is indeed incredibly successful, but because Nick is too willing to die on hills just because he is.
Well, he didn't even die on his hill yesterday. He tried to go rolling down the hill by taking that field goal.
No, Tyler, he died on the hill today.
What do you do today?
And he said Kevin Patullo called a good game yesterday. That's the problem.
Was he watching the same game that everyone else was?
Guys, this is... Guys. Hold on. A.J. Brown is wide receiver 1 on this team, right?
I think it's even, but yeah.
Whatever. Stick to the point here. A.J. Brown's on this team, right?
Yes.
Saquon Barkley's on this team, right?
Yes.
Devontae Smith is on this team.
Yes.
Dallas Goedert's on this team. A Super Bowl MVP quarterback is on this team. You're telling me that your offensive identity is, we just want to protect the football. And that's why the offense looks so damn complacent all the time, because instead of going for the kill shots, you just want to protect the damn football. That's coward shit. That's coward talk right there.
Yeah. You know another problem I have? And it pains me to say it, and I might not be on to anything here. So it always hurts to see the box score and to see Jalen Hurts was the leading runner for 33 yards with a backfield of Saquon Barkley. And I'm sorry, Tank Bigsby, if the Jags ever gave him a chance, he's a running back one in this league. His only carry yesterday was for 8 yards. Meanwhile, Saquon carried the ball 10 times for 22 yards, 2.2 yards per carry. You're telling me we couldn't have seen a little bit more Tank Bigsby? I get it. Saquon is your home run hitter. He's the glory kid from last year. He's an amazing talent. There's no doubt about it. But why do I feel like in the limited carries that Tank Bigsby gets, he's able to find holes and get chunk plays? While I feel like Saquon's grinding for every little yard he can get.
Well, I got some numbers. You want to hear this?
Yeah.
Tank Bigsby. I always want to put an S at the end of Tank. Tank Bigsby has 22 runs with the Eagles, 7.6 yards per run, 7 runs of 10-plus yards, 8 first downs. Saquon Barkley has 175 runs, 3.8 yards a run, 16 runs of 10-plus yards, and 26 first downs. That is almost 8 times more than what Tank Bigsby has. Why is Tank Bigsby finding success to run the football, but Saquon isn't?
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up too, because we've been talking a lot about how the offensive line in the run game looks a lot weaker this year. But why does it look weaker for one running back and not the other?
Answer me that.
It's a conversation most people don't want to have. I don't want to have that conversation.
I don't either, but I got to be real about this. He doesn't look like Jason Avant said he looked like he's running satisfied this year, and I don't want to have that kind of talk about him.
You hate to see it. But we've seen it. We've seen it before. At every position.
And let's also, I am not trying to be that guy. First of all, can you give me some, can we defend how much of a Saquon Barkley guy I am?
Oh, I know you are. That's your man.
Was it necessary to already extend his contract? Was that really that necessary?
Probably not.
Anthony
brings up.
Hold on. Let's catch up before and we'll get in.
Because there's one I want to get down to.
Anthony, it's the Raiders. That's why it took them so long. The Raiders have been a joke for decades,
anyways. So
I saw the Eagles put down the Madden controller at halftime and never came back to finish play. Oh, George, yes, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Espo said, to be fair, KP altogether stopped running it.
I don't agree with it either. Because think about it. You're up after the half, 21-7. We only had 18 total carries as a team. If you take away Jalen's 7 scrambles and like his 2 design quarterback draws, that was 11 carries between our 2 running backs. We ran the ball yesterday like we were down from the beginning of the game.
Yeah, so for everyone saying about like they stopped running in the first half, he only had 10 carries. They never committed to the run yesterday. Not once.
Yeah.
And this is what this is what Nick Sirianni's quote has been his entire time here: get a lead and start running the football to kill the clock. They've been so good at that ever since Nick got here. One thing we've always said about Nick, and I'm still with Nick, he gets on my freaking nerves. They've always been a dominant run team. Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Saquon Barkley. Now it's like we can't run the football. We can't do anything right.
Yeah.
And Espo makes a great point here about how they're stacking the box. Well, guess what? If they're giving Tank Bigsby a light box, here you go, kid.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to Anthony's prior comment about Barkley not waiting for the blocks, maybe. It's a possibility because when you look at it, every time he touches the football, he is met in the backfield. He has to make a guy miss in the backfield just to get 2 or 3 yards. He rarely ever
I got numbers
has.
for that.
Oh, I'd love to hear it.
Saquon Barkley last year averaged 3.8 yards before contact. This year, 1.6.
And that makes a big difference.
And look, I understand. Look, I agree. Look, I know Espo hates him. I know you can't stand him. I can't stand him. Kevin Patullo's in-game management is atrocious. But guess what? Here's my problem. As much as I can't stand him and how much he is going to be, I feel like, you know what this is, right? Because, here's another funny thing I found now. He won the Super Bowl last year. I know we never got full details on the contract that Nick Sirianni was given. We never got money, and we never got how long it was. We heard a multi-year extension. It could be 2 years to say, if you screw this up with this offensive coordinator crap again, I'm getting rid of your ass. Now, I'm sorry if I'm a little languagey tonight. I'm mad. I am pissed off from yesterday. Answer me this, okay? Kevin Patullo has to answer questions every week, right? About what goes wrong with his unit, right? Vic Fangio stands in front of the podium. Vic Fangio could literally walk into Jeffrey Lurie's office and say, I should be the highest paid coach on this staff, including your head guy. And he would be completely justified. Michael Clay, who, by the way, they need to get him a legit return, man, because Gibson, bye-bye, babe. Bye-bye. You don't field the ball at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Fair catch, even. I'll take being pinned inside the 10. I don't care. I don't know what he was trying to do. Like I said it to you yesterday. Where's Britton Covey at? Can we find him?
He's on the practice squad.
Bring him up.
Why is Jeff Stoutland not going to sit on the podium and answer any questions about his unit?
He should. The offensive line coach, who we've praised year after year, and also the run game coordinator.
Yeah.
So
just call it a spade a spade. They stink.
They do.
Cam Jurgens is playing on one freaking leg. You can clearly tell. He is the 3rd lowest graded pass blocking center in football. Landon Dickerson and Tyler Steen have played like crap all season.
Yeah, Steen, he hasn't sold me a single time.
And this is why, and a lot of these issues, cornerback 2, right, offensive line, this is also a Howie Rosen problem. He chose not to bring Mekhi Becton back for what, $10 million for 2 years? Are you freaking kidding me? Mr. Cap Wizard, Mr. Cap Guru wouldn't give Mekhi Becton, who, by the way, all those big runs that Saquon had, go look whose side of the offensive line they were on.
Yep.
That's why Saquon Barkley's yards before contact were so great, because he literally was getting Mekhi Becton. Go ask Christian Roseboom about Mekhi Becton last year. He pancaked him 4 times the entire season. What's up, Adrian?
What's up, Adrian?
But I'm dead serious. They are missing Mekhi Becton. Landon Dickerson has looked like crap all season. And you're way too far in the season now for the injury excuse.
Yeah.
Mailata has not looked good against run blocking this year.
Mailata's been sloppy this year.
And guess what? When the O-line starts to get sloppy, guess what Uncle Howie tends to do? He ends up going to get some new blood. Not off-season opinions. after the season's over that I'll probably get a lot of heat for. But this offensive line has stunk, especially along the interior all season.
Yeah, I agree.
Tyler Steen was perfect for what his role was. He's a sixth offensive lineman.
Yep.
He is not a full-time starter.
He is not.
And dear Lord, please get Matt Pryor off this team. Oh, my God. Well, that's the other thing. I understand, and this is what I'm talking about. I understand Kevin Patullo's the easy guy to blame. In-game, you have to be able to make in-game adjustments. And that's the other problem I have with Landon Dickerson. Their biggest excuse for yesterday was, oh, Dallas was running five-man fronts that we didn't see before. You're telling me, as offensive lineman, you don't know how to handle a five-man front? It's one of the most common things you see in the NFL. And you're telling me that you didn't know what they were running with? What are you talking about?
Well, clearly they didn't, because I saw Quinnen Williams go untouched like 5 times yesterday. I think they were watching film before Quinnen Williams got to Dallas.
This whole situation yesterday was an embarrassment. And I'm sorry, if this offense is not going to change one bit, why is the supposed to be offensive-minded head coach going to do something?
Yeah. At what point does he step in and he's like, okay, changes need to be made? We saw Dan Campbell do it.
Nick Sirianni will always go down to me as now look, clearly he has done something right in that locker room. But ever since he has taken over this team, admit how successful he is. The offense has looked like crap ever since he got here. He stopped calling plays in 2021. Just in case anyone didn't know this, he didn't call plays in Indianapolis before he was hired. So guess what? That's even more of a bizarre situation. So we hired an offensive-minded offensive coordinator who didn't call plays. And every year he's here, there's controversy. I am honestly, was it Espo that said it? I'm in agreement. Last year should not just ultimately get you job security.
No, it shouldn't.
Because this is turning into Press Taylor and Doug Peterson all over again. And look, I give Howie and Jeffrey credit. Look, the guy won you a Super Bowl. He should have got a little more. Last year, he had no say over what was going on. I don't care what people said. He did not hire Kellen Moore, and he did not hire Vic Fangio. We know who hired them.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Sirianni has to be masked by top-tier talent who, at the end of the day, is probably going to beat him up in the locker room soon because of how they're used. Because, once again, A.J. Brown was dominating, and then all of a sudden the football stops going to him, and we look like crap. This is what A.J. Brown's talking about, is how you go from 21 points in 3 drives till you can't even cross midfield.
Yeah. And that's the biggest part. Not scoring touchdowns aside, your inability to even threaten by getting into Dallas's territory is the biggest issue. Because at least if you're getting into their territory, that means you're moving the ball. You're moving the chains. You're taking time off the clock. You're giving your defense more time to rest. And honestly, some of those drives could ultimately result in field goals. Which, if they could have even mustered up that, Vic Fangio's defense is good enough, they would have won the game. But the fact that they only got in field goal range once, and Jake happened to miss it, not even mad about that. It happens.
I'm mad he missed it, but not for Jake. I feel bad for Jake. Nick deserved him to miss that.
Yeah.
And Espo is completely right. The offense only looked good last year because Saquon Barkley had an historic season and Kellen Moore did just enough to mask how bad this offense is. I got something here. Hold on. Just Tyler, if you got anything you want to keep adding to this offensive debacle, why I pull this up real quick?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that needs to happen. There's problems at every single aspect of the game. And I'm honestly at the point where I want to see more Tank Bigsby looks. Maybe this year, maybe we need to have a tandem. Maybe it needs to be a shared backfield.
It should have had to have been from day one. Saquon Barkley last year. Saquon Barkley had a historic season. He also had a lot of freaking mileage put on his body.
Yeah. Trying to carry the Giants.
But look at the mileage they put on his body last year. They can't just rely on that all the time. But seriously, hold on. I'm pulling. This is one. I don't know what play. I don't know if this was the last play on offense. I'm waiting for it to download, then I'll bring it up. But let me go back to Espo's comment here, saying that last night is it's what he wants his team to look like. Take the lead, sit on it, and trust the defense to make stops. Yes.
Yeah.
And the only difference between this year so far and 2023 is the defense has made stops. The defense is going to get sick and tired of this soon.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni has no credibility as an offensive mind. All right, here, I got it up here real quick. This is one of the route concepts from yesterday. Hell is this?
What is that? Run 10 yards and sit down?
Espo, please,
that is
somebody.
Atrocious.
Espo, you're my Eagles guy. What is this?
That is just absolutely absurd. Like, where are the crossing routes? Where are people trying to get across the middle, trying to cause confusion, get separation? Like, what are you expecting from that?
And nobody can cross here because they're going to run into somebody.
Exactly. Because you have to have them cross earlier.
Tyler, this concept, they are all stopped in a straight line.
Yeah.
What in the holy...
This looks like the sticks play I'd run in Madden if I'm at 4th and 1.
Anthony, that's what I'm saying. Who is running this stuff?
Yeah, nobody attacking vertically.
No deep crosser.
No deep crosser. And you got Smitty on an out route.
Which maybe that's there, but Fred Johnson's probably gotten destroyed by Jadeveon Clowney for the third time. I don't know what this route concept is. There's no space in it at all.
So then it comes back to who does that fall on? I know you like to say it's Nick's playbook, but why is that play even being called?
Because Kevin Patullo is going to run Nick's offense.
Because here's the thing, right? That route concept right there, if it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, if it's very short yardage situation, I'm fine with it. Run out quick turnaround, quick throw, quick release. You hopefully get the catch and a first down. But they were all 10 yards out sitting down. There's no room to throw the football.
Well, I was going to say, Tyler, look, I'm not trying to be that guy, and I am not turning on our quarterback, but quick release is not really his best thing right now.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you this right now. The one thing I'm getting sick and freaking tired of with him, I'm sick and tired of first read's not there. Okay, let's back up 5 feet and then run out and just stay back there. I'm getting sick of that. And the last play, 3rd and 2. I understand that this team stinks. I understand the O-line stinks. you got to find a way to get out of there then.
Yeah.
You can't take a sack on 3rd and freaking 2. I know. I agree with what Espo says here. Barkley would be 100%. Saquon Barkley ran the ball so much last year that he would love. That's why I thought Tank Bigsby was here, because A.J. Dillon stinks, and Will Shipley's a good back to have a couple packages for, like a couple pass catches here and there. He's not.
Yeah. No.
He's not a guy that's going to come in and get a lot of touches, but I thought Tank Bigsby was brought in to be a guy that could spend Saquon Barkley. And meanwhile, Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo are dependent on their talent to bail them out of every situation. I cannot sit here now for 3 years. Let's. What game has Nick Sirianni won the Eagles? Not Vic Fangio, not Kellen Moore. What game did Nick Sirianni win the Eagles?
Well, that's a tough question to answer because he doesn't call the plays.
Because you can't answer it.
Well, yeah, he doesn't call the plays. I mean,
if this happens again, and I'm not saying it's going to, I don't want to hear about winning percentage because I don't want to hear about what happened last year. If they have the second collapse like this to where they are 1 because they're going to make I don't think they're bad. They're not going to be bad enough to miss the playoffs. They would probably have to lose out the rest of their games for that. But if this football team goes 1 and done, a year removed from the Super Bowl, with all that money and the same offense still here, Jeffrey and Howie are going to sit him down and say, you have 2 options. You are never hiring an offensive coordinator again.
Yeah.
Or we're going to go find somebody else to coach this football team. Because the fact that you have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. By the way, I am pro A.J. Brown because he's right. Because I actually think A.J. Brown may be smarter than Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, he might be very public and cause drama, but I mean, I can't see any wrong.
Here's the difference between that. He goes out
that he gets open. No, he does make a lot of mistakes. He hasn't been as clean, and he hasn't been as dominant as he hasn't been in years past. But yesterday, early in the game, I saw him getting separation again. He looked good.
That's what I'm saying. AJ talks a lot. AJ backs his talk up. So, at the end of the day here, Nick's gonna have 2 options. You're firing Kevin Patullo, and you're gonna let us bring in another OC that knows what they're doing. And if I was them, I'd say, and we're scrapping your playbook because your playbook stinks. And what Espo say here, no one in-house hire has worked out, and every outside hire has worked out. That's not a red flag. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. When has an in-house hire worked out? Either side of the ball.
I don't think it has.
It hasn't.
Let's catch up on some of the comments here real quick. Yeah, George said here, you have Tank and he is there to help Barkley. The Eagles have to keep a balance for the whole game. They never even balanced the game yesterday. They just started throwing the football.
It's very ironic that the best running game that we saw as a team was when both Saquon and Tank had over 100 yards. And after that, you thought, maybe there's something here. Maybe they should start, evening out the carries more. Obviously, they're going to want to give Saquon more, but make sure Tank gets some carries. Let him get some early down carries. Like, throw him out there on a first down to confuse teams. Like, okay, maybe they're going for a pass. They're not going to run the ball with Tank on first down. Boom. Rips off like a 20-yard run.
Honestly, do you want my opinion? Black Friday, which, by the way, Eagles uniform combo. I think we should know what it should be. Easiest given in the world. I
Kelly
let Tate
Green.
basically shut up.
No.
Let 10 come out the whole first drive and see how it looks. But also, real quick, Espo brought up there is an analytics report that stated the top 3 pass catchers hitch route rate. Number 1, Zach Ertz. That's not a surprise. He's only ran that his whole career. Travis Kelce. Number 2, Devontae Smith. Number 3, 18 is A.J. Brown. Our players are relying on talent alone. Yeah, because they're not being there are plays you could scheme a guy open, and we have no idea how to do that.
Nope.
Did you see Dan Campbell against us? He had Amon-Ra run through the C gap to get it open. And and Cooper DeJean had no idea where he went.
Mm-hmm.
When do you ever see Cooper DeJean confused?
Rarely.
Which, by the way, yes, hey guys, no, he's not ever playing outside again. So, because Michael Carter stinks too.
He does.
When you run into your own player, you stink automatically.
And that also stands true for Sidney Brown.
Sidney Brown's not a bad football player. He's a dumb football player.
You know the moment, Sam. We both know. We already knew Reed Blankenship was better than Sidney Brown. You know the moment I fully realized it. When he left the game, and when I saw nothing but Sidney Brown, and not in a good way. What's the one thing you like to say, Sam? It's good when a guy's name isn't being called.
Oh, yeah.
Means they're doing something right. I feel like I saw a lot of Sidney Brown, and not where I wanted to see a lot of Sidney Brown.
You saw yesterday how important Reed Blankenship is to this football team. And honestly, you kind of saw a little bit of it with Adoree Jackson, too, because after they both went out, and Makuba, this secondary was in trouble.
I know I'm very critical of Adoree Jackson. But even I'm not stupid enough to not be able to admit he isn't the second best corner on this team. Because he is. It sucks that we are in that situation, but he's the next best we got next to Quinyon.
Can we just maybe agree that give the credit? Maybe the Cowboys are just not a good matchup for the Eagles right now.
They're not, because they have 2 number 1 receivers. And the guy who's not making the bank outperformed the other.
That boy was George Pickens was on it. He's been a hell of an addition to that Cowboys team.
Man, are they going to pay him? Though is the real question.
How do you not?
Are they going to be able to fork that over?
How do you not?
Dude, they're going to have like 2 of the top paid wide receivers.
Okay, and one guy's playing like that. The other guy drops about. Dude, CeeDee Lamb. What's going on with CeeDee Lamb this year? Even yesterday, he dropped like 3 footballs.
He's got the drops. You know what? I'm wondering if it's the Adoree Jackson effect, because Amon-Ra, funnily enough, the week prior was dropping a lot of passes too when Adoree Jackson was trailing him. I don't know. Is he just putting some spell on him?
Anthony's asking back to the pot. I don't know what play that was. That may have been the 3rd down play, actually. No, it wasn't, because Goddard was over the middle on the 3rd down play. Goddard was more off to the right on that one. Espo said KP's passing concepts don't allow 2nd and 3rd reads. This is why all our receivers are running their routes. And that's the thing. The passing game has been dog crap since Nick took over. And the passing coordinator for all these years has been Kevin Patullo.
Damn, he's been here that long?
He's been here since the first year with Nick.
Oh, God. Oh, God. It's all coming full circle.
The only reason I can think of AJ having beef with Jalen is that Jalen is or won't question his coaches, right or wrong. I mean, it could be. It definitely could be.
All of his interviews, he never really publicly criticizes anything. All he does is he just says, as a team, we got to get better. That's all he says. That's his answer to everything. We all have to be better.
I understand it. Oh, and look, Jalen Hurts is far from my biggest issue with yesterday. There were just certain plays that need to stop. Number one, I got a big issue with one of the plays where he ran the football. Brother, you are 27 years old. There is no reason that you should have got run down by 33-year-old Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah. Sam, you said this best. I don't remember if it might have been earlier this year. He has lost a step. I think more than a step. He's lost a couple steps with his athleticism.
Either that, or he's running to making a bit, or he is that focused on protecting himself.
Yeah.
Because God forbid, you make one wrong cut, wrong move, something bends the wrong way, something's going down.
Yeah. Because, I remember the early years of Hurts out there running, scrambling, how he hits his little stutter step move.
Yes!
He used to get guys with that all the time because he was able to make quick cuts out of that. I don't see those quick cuts anymore. He definitely looks a lot less mobile after that 1 year where he had all them knee issues.
Yeah. And Espo first of all, Espo wants credit for the black jersey that he did say he called it first. I got you, Espo. He also went on to say, it's crazy to me how you can look at a Shanahan offense where any and every quarterback can succeed, but yet folks just see big names and think anybody can step into our offense and succeed. You can't succeed for crap in this offense. Espo also said that George was the wide receiver one as soon as he stepped into the building. Honestly, George Pickett's probably has already more. I think he's definitely the perfect wide receiver for CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is not. I understand he had a couple of deep balls thrown to him yesterday, which, by the way, the pass interference on Cooper DeJean. What are we doing, NFL? Arm fighting is pass interference. Well, George, this is why they claim they got rid of Micah Parsons. They were going to use that money for other areas. And, you're seeing what George Pickens can do with a real quarterback. Say what you want about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is having a hell of a year.
Yeah. He won't win in the playoffs, but he's always good for a regular season.
Yeah, and their offenses look good. Hey, Jared Goff's been to a Super Bowl, bud.
He has, but guess who got him there? Todd Gurley. I'll never forget that.
More like Sean McVay.
That too. No, it was Todd Gurley's last of his knees that got them there. And then the knees gave out in the Super Bowl, and it was a wrap.
That entire offense gave out in the Super Bowl, just like the freaking Patriots did. Nope. But no, I think Pickens is going to be a Cowboy, and that should just tell Howie Roseman that I need to get a number 2 corner by all means necessary next year, because
yes, sir.
I don't want to have to go through that crap next year. Then you're going to have a healthy. Then we're going to have a healthy Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterbu. Oh no, I'm not doing that.
Just think, at least last year, we were able to see Slay and Mitchell out there on a team's top 2 wide receivers. Now we have to watch Mitchell and Adoree Jackson if they're both lined up on the outside.
Yeah. I can't get past the play when Michael Carter ran into Quinyon Mitchell and cost us such a big play. And that wasn't that the play? Wasn't that the drive that set them up for the game-winning field goal?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Why did Sidney? And that's the other stupid thing. That's another thing how stupid Sidney Brown
Let
is.
them score.
On the play that let him score.
Let him score. So you have time.
And then the tackle he saved the touchdown. Yeah, and he broke Andrew Makuba's leg in the process.
Oh, my God.
All the people, and when I mean people, I mean one person. You're going to see how bad you're going to miss Andrew Makuba for the rest of the season. Because he was starting to play well.
Is Tristan McCollum still on? Not Tristan McCollum. Is it just... Wait, what's... Tristan McCollum, right? Yeah. Is he still on
he's gone.
He's gone. Oh, no. Oh.
You don't even have Marcus Epps. He's on IR.
Hold on a minute. Somebody's still out there, Sam.
He's
Get
not going to be
Justin
ready by.
Simmons on speed
Yeah,
dial.
yeah. Let's call a guy who hasn't played football in almost 9 months. Yeah, that's going to
Hey,
help right
man,
away.
I'm sure he's got to be training. I would hope
No,
so. If not,
football
then
shape. Football shape is
that
not
is
just training,
true.
guys. If Reed Blankenship cannot play Friday, you're going to be starting Sidney Brown and Andre Sam. Just so you know,
We're screwed.
we're screwed. Yeah. Caleb's going to kill us over the top.
Everybody start Caleb Williams, start Roma Dunze. It's going to be a show.
Well, hold on. Ben Johnson has to go against Vic Fangio. Oh, Bryce Young just got killed. And I think the player that hit him actually hurt themselves. Sorry for my loud discrepancy there. That was just Bryce Young just got annihilated. George said CeeDee's injury has thrown him off a little bit. He just needs to relax and go back to working with the jug machine. Yeah, and that's the thing, George. They've got such a well-balanced offense this year. It hasn't hurt them. Javonte Williams has been amazing. Ferguson's been really good. And George Pickens has been really... They have missed a big play down the field wide receiver since they lost Amari Cooper. And now they have it. And George Pickens, who we always knew he was talented, now that he's got a real quarterback, you're seeing how good they can be.
Yeah.
Espo said the Cooper DPI was a makeup call for last week. CD illegal hands to the face at a minimum. Yeah. Espo, trust me, the officiating crew was god-awful yesterday. You don't got to explain that to me. Anthony said Pickens was 9 for 9 yesterday. Yes, he was. And then Espo said Vic Fangio tried to tell us without telling us that the Gene was not an outside corner, and he had to see for his own eyes just to believe it. Oh, Espo, me and Tyler said it from day one. We said it may be the only option, but we know that this is never going to be a legitimate chance of it happening. Cooper is too valuable. He just doesn't have we said this when we watched his draft tape. If he's not going to be a nickel corner, he's going to be a safety. Mm-hmm. Which you actually may see him at safety next week if Reed Blankenship can't play. And then Espo said, you always let them score in that situation. Ain't no way they were going to fall down to 1. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as soon as I saw
let him go.
That ball caught across the middle, I was like, let him score. There's no reason to bring him down.
Espo
not going to miss again.
I don't think Reed's... I mean, Nick didn't really give us an update on Reed, which, I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to hope he can practice for at least a little bit this week before Friday. It seemed like he slammed on the ground and he was trying to... Like, did you notice he had a massage gun on his thigh? It looked like he's something just really cramped up.
Yeah.
George, he's too good as a nickel corner to just be a safety. He's a nickel defender. He can't play on the outside.
Because how good he is at tracking guys in motion.
Hey, what's up, Bruiser?
What's up, Bruiser?
He said, I see the Browns have named future Hall of Famer and franchise savior Shedeur Sanders the starter for Week 13. Oh, yes, Espo. If Michael Carter doesn't create the greatest pick play of all time, we may have a shot still. But Michael Carter's an idiot. You know, with the way that everybody's been going over the past few weeks, I am starting to wonder maybe that Darius Smith and Jair Alexander just said, yeah, I ain't dealing with these idiots. Something has to be done at the end of this year. Either Nick is going to have to be put in a straitjacket and say, you don't run the offense, you won't run anything, you be the buddy in the locker room, or we're going to be looking for a new head coach.
That'll be the only option. The only option will be that Howie brings in the next offensive coordinator.
Who will get hired away in a year.
Exactly. So one of the more fortunate things that we have going for us is the fact that Vic Fangio wants to coach for a few more years, but doesn't want to be a head coach. Because if he wanted to be a head coach, he would have gotten a deal after the Super Bowl.
Well, no, Vic already said it. This is going to be his last stop, and then that's it. And I think, personally, in-house, I think that portion of the in-house stuff, I know Espo hates hearing in-house, that I'm not too worried about. Because I think Christian Parker one day is going to be a defensive coordinator, hopefully here. If not, Clint Hurtt has defensive coordinator experience.
I don't want to hear has experience anymore.
Well, Hurtt does. I'm just saying he does.
I heard Desai did too.
No, he had more. No. Sean Desai was not the problem.
Here's where
you continue to bring that up. Sean Desai was not the freaking problem in 2023. The freaking personnel was.
The personnel was not good. We're not getting.
They were better. Right they were better under Desai than they were with Matt Patricia.
The only thing I want to see is that when Vic Fangio retires, I want him to have the say in who he believes can take over, who's capable. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear, this person has experience, this, that, or the other.
Oh my, what an interception. Brock Purdy picked off, and the Panthers are in business. Yep, Mac Jones come back.
Wow.
J.C. Horn, man.
Man, they might need Mac Jones back.
Espo said, why would I, as a GM, take ownership over coordinating hires when I could just have a head coach who actually has the ability to hire coordinators? But Espo, that's the problem. They had to do that last year. Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie hired Kellen Moore. Nick Sirianni did not hire Kellen Moore. I don't care what they say in press conferences. Nick Sirianni did not hire Kellen Moore. Espo, I'm watching it live. That was an unbelievable freaking interception. I may have to rethink J.C. Horn as one of my top corners, actually. I'm sorry if I put him too low, I'm sorry. Oh, Bryce Young on the rollout. He's going to run and get about 4 yards. Okay, at least he didn't get utterly murdered this time. Bruiser, I'm not going to get into this right now. I'm wrapping up my Eagles talk for the night. I'll get into this another day. And Bruiser, the coach that the reason that they won the Super Bowl is in New Orleans. So he's not. So the coach. No, don't give me that crap. Most of the reason.
Vic Fangio's a big part of it still.
Oh, Fangio's a huge part. Oh, another. I'm telling you, this Panthers team is pretty solid. All right, Tyler, let's dive into a few more things around Week 12. What else do we have? What else went down over the weekend?
Oh, man. Feels like a whole lot of stuff. We saw the Colts lose in overtime. You made the right prediction.
I told you.
The Chiefs refused to lose 3 in a row. I do think it was kind of wild how they won in overtime, but you know what? It is what it is.
The Colts offense is a little bit different if Jonathan Taylor has a pedestrian game.
You know what the Colts really remind me of? Those good playoff Titans teams with Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry.
Oh, good Lord.
The ones who, when they could run that football at will, they were beating you. No doubt about it. And, yeah, Jonathan Taylor showed that while he hasn't been stopped many times this year, he's had, he's had 4 games. No, he's had 5 games under 100 yards. One of them was 94. I don't really count that.
Yeah. Bryce Young just got picked off in the end zone.
Of course he did. Who was he targeting?
I have no idea. Was it McMillan? No, I don't even know who that is, but whoever 27 is made a heck of a play. And I agree with what Espo says here. And that's the thing. We want this team to be in the Super Bowl again, but with the way the offense is, they're not going to be. You have too much talent on that offense to be this poorly coached.
Yeah.
Anthony Bryce Young, I don't know what Bryce Young thinks he is right now. Literally, George, they got it right back. But no, all in all, I still think the Colts are good, but they are having some issues with some playoff teams. Rams, Steelers, now the Chiefs. I don't want to sound too I don't want to put them in that category, but it hasn't been good against the playoff teams for them.
No, you're right. I mean, you look at it, lost to the Steelers, they'll be there. The Rams, they'll be there. Now the Chiefs. Even their win against the Chargers kind of seems watered down at this point.
I mean,
they did beat the Broncos.
Yes, but if there's a leverage penalty that's not called, then that may be a different story.
Very true.
But I mean, the embarrassing thing about this is the Chiefs only scored one touchdown. They literally lost to Harrison Butker in his 5 field goals that he made. Mahomes did not play great yesterday. He was 29 to 46 for 352, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Daniel Jones, though, was actually pretty solid. He was 19 to 31, 181 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. What's up, Mikey?
What's up, Mikey?
The Eagles in 2025, Mike, are the most inconsistent offense I've ever seen in my entire life. But I told you, the Chiefs are not going to go away, dude. No matter what people say, they're not going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got, Tyler? What else we got? What do we want to bring up here?
The Steelers with the backup Rudolph in almost beat the Bears. So, I mean, yeah, on paper, the Bears got it done again, but it wasn't that pretty.
No, but I will say they did win despite of how great their run game was. They didn't run the ball very effectively. I mean, Manungai was 12 of 48, 4 yards a carry. DeAndre Swift was only 8 for 15. Caleb Williams actually 19 of 35, 239, 3 touchdowns. What are your thoughts on Caleb Williams right now, Tyler? I mean, before I let you go, before I let you start it off here, let me just read you his numbers. 2,568 passing yards, a 91.3 passer rating, 16 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Here's the only issue that I have with Caleb Williams. His completion percentage is 59.2%.
Yeah. He's obviously having the best year of his career.
Compared to one other year?
But hey, I was told he was the next greatest quarterback coming into the NFL. So he should have been having his breakout year last year and then following it up with an even better year this year. Now, he's not having a bad season. He's having a good season. Is he having an elite season? No. But he's currently doing enough to help the Bears win games. And I guess that's all you can really ask for. He could still be trying to get comfortable with Ben Johnson's system. Obviously, the Bears as a whole are enjoying a lot more success than in recent years.
Yeah.
So there's things going right.
He's almost like the opposite of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts takes care of the football and completes a lot of passes. Caleb Williams doesn't turn over the football and doesn't complete a lot of passes. And I understand what you're saying about him, not having the greatest of years so far. But again, it's a whole new offense he's running. We know how complex Ben Johnson's offense is. So I get it, but I mean, he's been fine. I mean, yeah, has he played up to the status of the number 1 overall pick yet? Probably not. But yeah. He's not losing them games. I suppose some of them are throwaways. some of them are, but then there are some where he just completely misses the guy. And that's because Caleb Williams, again, to me, he's those one speed. He's not a very accurate passer yet. He doesn't have a great touch on the football. He doesn't know how to just drop it right in the bucket. He likes to throw the football 100 miles an hour. He loves to throw strikes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anthony. So, speaking of someone who wasn't throwing the ball like Ray Charles, let's talk about my boy Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Shane Bowen getting fired, shall we?
Yeah, rightfully so. The Giants had the chance to do the unthinkable, upsetting the Detroit Lions. And boy, did I think that they were going to get it done. Jameis, 366 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown, 1 interception, only got sacked 1 time. The offense is playing really good. Wan'Dale Robinson going off. Theo Johnson, he's another one of their young, promising players. The future of him, Dart, and Scadaboo, they're building the future over there in New York.
Oh, absolutely. If you see a healthy Jackson Dart with Theo Johnson, who I really like, Cam Scadaboo, Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson's played really well. And I think they are in really good shape.
And then Jahmyr Gibbs also happened. 219 rushing yards. 2 touchdowns. He had the dagger to tie the game. And then a dagger to put them up in overtime. Ridiculous.
George, Geno Smith doesn't have any offensive anything. He doesn't even have an offensive coordinator right now.
Yeah.
Anthony, that is an understatement. That offense is clicking.
Yeah, this is a different Rams offense than the Eagles saw. That was still early in the year. Adams really wasn't fully locked in with that unit yet. But man, once they got him on the same page with Puka and Stafford, it's over.
They're the best team in football right now.
I think the Rams win the NFC this year.
I think the Rams win. I think the Rams are my Super Bowl favorite. Who in the AFC right now do you think would beat them? The Broncos, their offense does not compete with the Rams.
No. They would need a huge statement by their defense to keep them in that game. I would say, honestly, I don't even trust the Patriots.
They're not there yet, man.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
They're still about a year or 2 away.
Well,
and now they're in trouble because now they got 2 rookie offensive linemen out.
Yeah, that's rough.
Because Will Campbell was probably going to be. He's been basically this draft class is Joe Alt. He's been unbelievable, and now he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. We have to see Jarrett Wilson with that high ankle sprain, how long he's going to be out for.
I don't know who my favorite would be
in the AFC.
Yeah, in the AFC, I think it's still so wide open.
Mikey, I like where you're going with that. I don't know. I think the Broncos would still be... If the Patriots and Broncos matched up, I think the Broncos would win. Mikey, I have no idea what the Jags are. He throws 3 picks, but somehow they're 7-4.
Oh, man.
The Jags, I cannot figure them out at all.
I don't know.
Like I just said,
and they're 7-4.
Yeah, like
I don't know. I don't get how the Cardinals keep losing these games.
Suck.
Brissett 317 passing yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So I'm trying to find where they didn't even lose a fumble. They didn't turn the ball over. How did they
Once
lose?
again, he throws
He
57
lost.
passes last. Hold on, he throws 57 damn passes last week, and they have to throw
Yeah,
49. What
yeah.
the hell are they? What are they
Insane.
doing in
The
Arizona?
Jags get even more baffling. Lawrence had 3 interceptions. He also lost a fumble. He had 4 turnovers. To the Cardinals, 0. How did they lose?
Because Jonathan Gannon's defense stinks.
Oh my gosh.
That Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon's getting fired.
Yeah, he should. I hope he does. This is the turning point for the Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon, we could have told the Cardinals that was the worst hire in the world.
Well, hey,
The
just think
worst
if it
hire.
weren't for that, we wouldn't have got Vic Fangio here, so I'm okay.
You're right. You're right.
So, Jonathan, thank you for everything, and never coming back to my city.
Oh man.
And I completely agree here with what Anthony's saying is that no team can go score for score with that Rams offense. And just think of something. We were so concerned with Matthew Stafford. Remember during the summer with the back
Yeah.
injury, he wasn't practicing. We're like, guys, this guy going to be able to make it through a
I'm
season?
I'm gonna rebut what you just said by saying I think Seattle can.
Tyler, I don't know if that Seahawks O-line can take on that Rams front.
I mean, they only lost by 2 when they faced them 2 weeks ago.
I understand that. But
And wasn't it a
another
missed Seattle field goal that lost them the game?
yes.
So they
And
almost beat them.
there is a mismatch in there. Cameron Kitchens is the best player in their secondary right now, but he's a safety. I don't know any corner in the league on that not in the league, on the Rams that can go one-on-one with JSN. Don't.
Nope.
JSN is unfreaking believable this year. You want to hear some numbers I have with him?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Listen to these numbers. This is ridiculous. At least I think I have numbers. Here we go. Jackson Smith and Jigba is the first NFL. Yeah, he's the first NFL wide receiver. Okay.
Oh yeah, nice.
JSN is JSN is the first wide receiver in NFL history to have 75 plus receiving yards in each of the team's first 11 games. JSN is now has the most receiving yards in a single season in Seahawks franchise history. It's week freaking 12. That is some unreal stuff.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Anthony, I don't know if Jordan Love sucks. I think that his offense is so banged up. Like, I mean, he was 14 to 21 for 139. I mean, he wasn't awful. They ran the ball a ton. And, I mean, Anthony, they didn't need him to do much to beat the Vikings, which, oh boy, J.J. McCarthy, what's going on?
J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy. Good Lord.
You
Now,
know what?
Anthony, if you want to redo your comment and say that he sucks, go right ahead.
Yeah. The Vikings may want to look into doing something outrageous. Reacquiring Kirk Cousins.
Oh my God, Purdy got picked off again.
Oh my God.
It's a pick show in San Francisco. You know what, Tyler? I was thinking about that. Kirk Cousins actually played pretty well yesterday. Do the Vikings make that call in the offseason?
They should. I mean, the Falcons already made their choice drafting Penix.
That's if Penix's legs hold up. I mean, that's his third torn ACL already.
Yep. So, I don't know. Honestly, Falcons probably won't. They'll have to keep him because Penix isn't going to be ready to start the year next year.
He may. I mean,
he may, but I highly doubt it. I mean, we're almost in December. And especially with it being, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the knee where he retore it again.
Yeah.
So I'm not a doctor. I don't know how that works. I don't know if it's easier recovery after it's already been torn once, or if it's even more difficult to recover from. I have no idea. But it's not a good look either way.
Yeah, George, this year they are. Maybe next, they're probably going to be stuck with Kirk Cousins next year.
Because, I mean, they were out with Drake London, too. I mean, they still won, rightfully so. You're playing the Saints. You kind of can't lose that game.
I would put Bijan in bubble wrap and call it a season.
Honestly.
All right, Tyler, let's wrap up our NFL talk with one other little conversation. Why don't we talk about the debut of Shedeur Sanders?
Well, it was a good show. Good night, everybody.
Oh, you're unbelievable. Hey, man, Browns won yesterday. I should be
They
happy.
did.
Browns won 24-10.
They won in the battle of the 2 and 8s. Congratulations.
11 of 20, 209, a touchdown, an interception. Both their young running backs showed some stuff. Quinshon Judkins had 2 rushing touchdowns. Dylan Sampson had 2 catches for 59 yards and a touchdown.
I'm sorry, Geno Smith got sacked 10 times.
Yeah, Myles Garrett had 3.
That makes sense.
Malik Collins had 2.5. What do we think? How do we feel about Geno? You got to tell me how we talk about the Geno Smith. What do you think about Shedeur Sanders in his debut?
I mean, he was fine. You know, I'm not basing Shedeur Sanders off a 1-game sample size.
No, nor should we.
Still hold all of my opinions from him being in college. I still don't think he's that impressive. He had a good game. It is what it is. Let me see it on a consistent basis. He's going to have to do it consistently if he wants a shot at even being the starting quarterback.
Well, Gabriel has cleared concussion protocol, but Stefanski did say that Shedeur will be the starter next week. So,
yeah, if he wants to keep his job.
So it'll be interesting to see. But, I thought he looked okay. Both young running backs played a really solid game. Let's see what happens down the road. He wasn't awful.
No, he wasn't. He was better than J.J. McCarthy. So that says a lot.
Does it really say a lot?
Yes, it says a lot, Sam.
Oh, man. Yeah, I thought Shedeur played okay. I mean, if the Browns are smart, I think they got a decent sample size with Gabriel. Now maybe they see Shedeur. And that's a bad drop by. I think that's Ted McMillan.
Yep,
oh, boy.
It was.
That's a bad drop. Yep, Tyler, by the way, that's why I didn't accept that trade, buddy.
Who else do you want?
Nobody. You're not. I can't afford it. My tight ends are too inconsistent.
Just pick one. Give me the other.
I'm not giving you. I am not helping you guys make your playoff push. Sorry.
Make up your damn mind, Sam. It's over for you. All right.
I don't care. I'm not helping you guys,
Sam.
We'll see. We'll talk. We'll talk after the show.
I'm willing to make it a fair trade. I'm not just looking for a handout.
I know you are. But all right, you want to get into a little bit of college talk before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Do we want to talk about the main subject that I had, or you want to look at that poll real quick?
I just want to look at the poll real quick.
All right, here we go. Nothing major. Oregon moved up to number 5.
Yeah.
Nice win over USC. Down. Yeah. Texas Tech still sitting there at 7. Sooners at 8. Join a conference still sitting there at 9. I mean Notre Dame, sorry.
At least Oklahoma's higher than them.
Bam is still sitting there at 10. BYU at 11, and Vanderbilt's back in the top 12. Now, it doesn't mean anything because the playoff bracket sucks, but
Yeah.
Miami's right out on the outside looking in. And then the rest of it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Shout out JMU for being number 20.
James Madison University.
Hey, man. Give their coach credit. He's done a
How
good job
about
over there.
North Texas?
How about Tulane?
Tulane.
Even Pitt's had a pretty solid year.
But yeah, not a whole lot changed. A couple of upset games we were talking about last week on Friday Night Gridiron Picks, they didn't come to fruition. So nothing changed in the upper rankings except for a couple spot changes. But
yeah,
nothing playoff altering.
Yeah, nothing majorly altering, but so far, I mean, now the SEC championship game has a little bit difference because now it's probably going to be A&M and Georgia because Bama decided to go and lose to Oklahoma.
Yep.
Which I'm okay with that. That's still going to be a really good matchup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe could Ole Miss maybe still sneak it in there, but I don't know. Now that they're
no, because let's see, Ole Miss's final game is against Mississippi State. Georgia is against, you know what? Georgia Tech. So honestly, there could be a chance. Yeah, Georgia better watch out. Don't get put on upset alert because a win like that for Georgia Tech would probably do them wonders over in the ACC.
Yeah, I mean the ACC championship game right now would probably be Miami versus I think Virginia probably.
See. So Virginia's got a 9-2 record, 6-1 conference. Georgia Tech has a 9-2, 6-2 conference, and Miami has a 9-2, 5-2 conference. So honestly, Georgia Tech could slide in that game against Virginia. Definitely with a win against Georgia, they would.
Yeah, it's definitely a chance. Yeah, by the way, Christian McCaffrey just fumbled the ball and it bounced 10 yards upfield, recovered by the Niners. This game is This game is crazy. And Purdy's picked off again.
No way. Oh,
get Mac Jones in the game. Knock this crap. J.C. Horn is on a level tonight.
That's just such a bad throw. Where are you going with that? Do we want to watch this? Imagine if Brock Purdy was their quarterback. This is what Eagles fans have to think about. Yeah. He was like, "What was that? What was he doing?"
He's like, dude, that's 3. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Anthony said Purdy's banned for life.
You know, maybe if Purdy had a cannon of an arm and could zip that ball there, he would get it.
Or field vision.
That was awful.
Also, Tyler, we know what this week is.
What's this week?
You know what game's this week.
Do I?
Yeah, come on. What matchup in the Big Ten is coming this week?
Ohio State, Michigan?
Yes, sir. Do the Buckeyes finally get over this freaking crap?
They better, because if they don't, I see a realistic chance of
And Indiana's the
Oregon.
1 seed?
Or yeah, Indiana is the 1 seed and Oregon sneaking in that championship game. But that's tough though. Because I don't. Does Oregon hold a win against Michigan? Did they play them this year?
No.
No? That'd be tough then. I don't know how they would do that.
Do they get over the hump? We got some big, actually. The Friday Night Gridiron picks, we have some key college conference games this week to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's that Ohio State-Michigan game, man. It's always going to be there. We got to see how it turns out this week or this year. It's only been like 2,000 days since Ohio State beat them. All right, so before we wrap up the college season for my team, I would like to let's talk about Penn State for a minute here. It's been a rough year, not going to lie. It has been a rough season for my Nittany Lions. 3-0 to start the year, played against 3 middle school teams, then came out, lost 3 in a row, fired James Franklin, lost 3 more in a row. But, I mean, Tyler, let's be real. You and I watched the Iowa game. We've watched it. The only game they really haven't looked great in over that span has been the Ohio State game. But Ohio State's a monster.
Yeah.
They almost came up with the win against Indiana. I mean, it took an Omar Cooper ridiculous touchdown catch to win that game. And now they've won 2 straight. You saw the win over Michigan State. I don't know if you saw Terry Smith's emotions after that game.
I did.
And then Matt Rule. Have fun, baby. Have fun with the corn with the Cornhuskers. And I want Matt Rule nowhere near my football program. They were just more physical than Nebraska on Saturday. Yeah, Anthony, Oregon really does need that win against Washington. And Washington's a sneaky team. They got some talent, so that's going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah.
But Katron Allen, now the all-time leading rusher in Penn State history. They dominate Nebraska, beating them 37-10. The sidelines are going crazy. The fans are screaming, Terry, Terry, Terry. The players have the higher Terry Smith signs on the sideline. Tyler, do you think they would? But do you
and
think
like I said, so here's the thing, right? Penn State can look at this 2 ways. You either bring in a completely new head coach from outside the program, and you already need to have him spend years to rebuild the program. Or you go with someone who was already in the program, someone who could probably keep a lot of kids from transferring out. And you don't have to give him some big 5-10 year deal. Give him the 2-year deal to start. See how it goes. And go from there. Because, I mean, what he's done so far with having to pick up the pieces midway through the year, mind you, without Drew Aller as well, I do think the kid that has been playing, I forget his name. I think he's pretty solid. I think he should get the starting nod next year.
Gruckemeyer was. That's the big key. Gruckemeyer against Nebraska was 11 of 12 for 181 yards and a touchdown. I actually saw wide receivers 10 yards down the field that were wide open. Apparently, did you hear Terry Smith's interview after the game?
No.
You know what he said? This is my locker room. I don't know if that was a shot at Pat Kraft or a shot at James Franklin, because, Tyler, we went to one of those first 3 games, which, by the way, Anthony, yes, Nevada, FIU, Villanova, middle school teams. You and I watched the Oregon game. We watched those games. James Franklin looks like he had one foot out the door of this season, in my opinion. They were not playing Penn State football this year.
Yeah.
All year we talked about, what is the one thing you also said this whole year? The offensive line has not looked the same compared to last season, and they were all returning, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this? They had a 94 pass block grade against Nebraska on Saturday.
Wow.
The offensive line completely turned it around in the second half of this season. And like we said, look at the games. They lost by 1 point to Iowa. Only lost by a point to freaking Indiana. All right, they lost to Ohio State. That's a given. But every game since Terry Smith took over, they have gotten back to playing gritty, physical Penn State football.
Yeah.
Terry Smith was a wide receiver for Joe Paterno in the 80s. He's been an assistant coach with James Franklin through this entire process. He has the command and the respect of those kids in that locker room. The entire university supports him. Even if Terry Smith isn't the new head coach, he has to be on the staff because it's from whoever it sounds like they hire. They're not going to have a lot of Northeast. Like if they say it's Eli Drinkwitz from Missouri. Drinkwitz doesn't have recruiting ties in the northeastern area, but Terry Smith has been the one out there recruiting with James Franklin. You got to keep Terry Smith around this program so you have that guy that can go out there and recruit in that area.
Yeah.
Now, Drinkwitz has been the odds favorite for weeks now. Another report says that Penn State has also been high on, ironically, James Madison's Bob Chesney, who's got them in the top 25 right now. A lot of people view him as a guy that's doing a lot with less, and he's looking for that big jump to show what he can really do. So he's a name that's shown up. I don't know where this whole search is going to go. But another thing that Terry Smith did, when he took over, he went and had a talk with Jim Knowles and Andy Koltnicki, who I can't stand still. He told Jim, dude, let's just take the defense and simplify it. Let's not try to be fancy. Let's just get back to playing Penn State defense. He also went into and had words with Andy Koltnicki and said, stop with the trick crap. Stop with the fancy stuff. We have two of the best running backs in school history. Feed them the damn ball. I also find it funny how Nicholas Singleton started improving once James Franklin left. And like I said, I'm not anti-James Franklin. People need to understand something. James Franklin, yes, he claimed early on he's all about Penn State. James Franklin had 1 foot out the door in 2021 before a 10-year contract got shoved in his face. So let's not act like that never happened. But, and by the way, James Franklin thinks he's going to compete for the national title in the ACC. Good luck with that.
Start by winning the ACC.
Yeah, you got to beat Miami.
Exactly. I think he has a good shot of keeping them relevant in the ACC.
Shit. He ain't playing all ACC teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're right.
But Terry Smith, to me, is someone who bleeds Penn State through and through as a player, a coach. He's been around that program his whole life. You saw the emotion he showed after the Michigan State win. You saw the way how Beaver Stadium treated him after the win in Nebraska. Like I said, if they want to go with Eli Drinkwitz or a Chesney or whoever they want to go with, if they want to go somewhere different, that's fine. But no matter what they do, Terry Smith has to be a part of this program because of what he's done. I mean, if they beat Rutgers on Saturday, they are still they're going to get a bowl game. So Tyler, if we had this conversation after the Northwestern game, I would have laughed in your face if you would have said that. That fact that they are still eligible for a bowl game.
Yeah.
I think Terry Smith, would he be the right guy? Do I think he's a guy that could win you a national title? I don't know. But for what this program wants, I think he's the guy.
It all depends on the talent that he can recruit.
Yes, and it also depends on what Pat Kraft wants, because Pat Kraft wants this team to be national title contenders. Do you think
Yeah,
Terry Smith is that, or are we just caught up in the emotions of 2 really good weeks of football?
that's a big possibility too.
It is, but I mean, all these upperclassmen this year have supported him, and look how good they've all played. They
Mhm.
got back. Like I said, he went to Andy Colton-Nicky. He told him, dude, simplify the offense. Stop with the trick stuff. Let's get back to playing physical Penn State football. Run the ball, dominate on the ground. Defense will get the job done. Dennis Sutton has played his best football over the past 2 weeks. Zane Durant had 2 sacks on Saturday. I hadn't seen Zane Durant since week 1. Amari Campbell has played like his head's on fire all year, and losing Tony Rojas has really hurt that defense, by the way.
Yeah.
Zyke Wheatley has played amazing this year. He's been their best player in their secondary. The offensive line, and let's not talk about our boy, number 13, Batman, Katron Allen. When they went back to a run-heavy, run-first attack, he's been the best running back in college football over the past month almost. Now, I know Jeremiah Love's still the best running back
Now,
in
I was
college
going to say, I
football.
think Jeremiah Love might want to have a word about that.
But over the past month, Katron Allen's been right up there.
Yeah.
And Nicholas Singleton has gotten back to the guy that we knew he was last year, that big play home run hitter. And now you're looking at Katron is now the all-time leading rusher in Penn State history. Nicholas Singleton is going to be the all-time touchdown leader if he gets in the end zone one time against Rutgers, which Terry already said, we're going to get him his record. But it's just the way that Beaver State, Tyler, you remember the Northwestern game. You saw the writing on the wall after that game with James Franklin. They're booing him. Remember the security guards had to wait for him to go down the tunnel because of how bad the fans were? And now to look at after the Nebraska game, and that's a good Nebraska football team. That's a 7-3 Nebraska team with a guy that you thought was going to be the favorite to be the head coach this next year.
Yeah.
They're a good football team. They're 7-4. And for that whole, you just hear the Terry chants going through the building. Why? What has Terry Smith not done to deserve his shot?
So here's where he can really solidify this, right? You got to win against Rutgers next week. If you get the bowl game, definitely got to win the bowl game, because whoever your opponent's going to be, it's going to be a winnable matchup. If he can do that and win out the rest of those games, I think he'll have a serious shot at going in, having an interview with Pat Kraft and saying, look, I think I can win here.
Well, that interview's this week. Pat Kraft and him are meeting this week about this, so this is going to be a very interesting week for Penn State. Now, I don't know how true it was, but one of the sideline reporters did say in the locker room, there were players saying, Terry's here, I'm staying.
That's a big thing. He's been in the building with them. He was probably there recruiting with Franklin when they got recruited.
He was.
So there's still that attachment to him, even though Franklin's gone. If they clean house, they're going to lose so many recruits.
They already have.
Yeah, exactly.
We've lost the most recruits over a while now, but I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And they said Terry Smith, they said he has done something different. Like they said, James loves his players, yes, but Terry commands respect from his players. And they just, again, they love him. And I think how loyal he's been. I mean, let's be real. Most of these I don't want a guy I don't want another Lane Kiffin who uses schools for leverage. I'm sorry. Lane Kiffin is using schools for leverage to get more money.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want that. I want a guy that loves the program that he's around. Terry Smith loves Penn State.
You know what somebody said about Lane Kiffin? They should do one of those.
That he needs to stay off Tinder?
No, they need to do one of those Sports Center sit downs where he's got like the hats in front of him on the table. He picks the
National Signing Day. Oh, yes. My God.
Yes. I was
would
like,
love it.
yes, I'm all for it. Let me see that.
I would love that, man.
You know what? Pick up
But
the Ole Miss hat, toss it behind him, and then he picks up LSU. Go Tigers.
then he finds out the Gators have another $1 million in incentives. He's like, oh, never mind. I had another
DJ
joke, but
Lagway
it's not
throws how many picks? Okay, we can work with that.
I'll come down from 5 to 4. Oh, God. But like, that's the point, though. Do you really want that as your head coach, a guy who just wants more money? I want a guy that loves to do what he does, and Terry Smith does.
A guy who's all about the program. Because, like, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Why would you want to leave a program like Ole Miss? That should
That
be
he's
one of
built.
that should be one of the destination coaching jobs. There's not many schools where you can say that. That's, I would say, Ole Miss, Penn State, Texas. I'd put Miami in there. Florida's still in there. Ohio State.
Michigan.
Like
LSU's still looking for one.
Yeah, LSU as well. Yeah. Like, those are your destination schools. LSU could probably be the only one where I could be like, okay, I can respect him leaving Ole Miss to go there. But Ole Miss, such a respected school.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And like I said, I don't want to be that program that gets guys paid. I want to be the program that I want it to be run by someone who loves the football program, loves the school. And like I said, Bruiser and I have gone back and forth on this. Is Penn State ever going to be bigger than Ohio State? No. We're never going to have that kind of leg way in with them. We may never even be as big as Michigan, but you know what? We're still a good program. And like I said, I want a national title. Yes, absolutely. Who would not want to win a national championship? But this football program has always shown one thing they can be, and it's consistent. They're always playing good football. They're always in bowl games. We always have a good portion of kids drafted to the NFL. That's all I care about. I care about consistency year in and year out. So yeah, it's going to be a very big couple of weeks. Pat Kraft said he wanted to have a new coach by Thanksgiving, so this is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, that time's ticking down then.
And all the big name candidates are basically done because breaking news, Penn State was never going to get Lane Kiffin either, and I don't want Lane Kiffin. He's a good football coach, but he's a strange dude.
Lane Kiffin doesn't strike me as a Penn State football coach.
Why would you leave the SEC?
Yeah. He seems like a Southern man.
Well, no doubt. Look where he coaches. Mr. Adams, anything else you want to add before we get up on out of here for the night?
That's about all I got.
All righty. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on a very fun episode of 609 Sports Talk. We talked top defenses in the NFL. We talked Eagles-Cowboys. We talked some of the storylines around Week 12 of the NFL. We live reacted to Brock Purdy and his 13 freaking turnovers. His turnovers are almost as deep as the Niners injury report. Have a good night, George. But we talked some Penn State, talked a little college football. Friday night gridiron picks live on Black Friday, 8 o'clock. Maybe a little Eagles-Bears post game. Because why would we not talk about that? Yeah. We'll be live Friday night, 8 o'clock. We'll give our picks for Week 13. We'll talk some of the college matchups that are going to be big around the country. And, of course, we'll probably give some thoughts on that Black Friday game between the Eagles and Bears. So, guys, thank you all for joining us on Unbiased tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys Friday night for the Friday night gridiron picks. And and before we go, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We hope you have a great holiday with your family and your friends and all your loved ones. And we hope you eat very good food and have a great time with your family. And see you guys on Friday night. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.